Hello to my fellow history lovers and people that think if I learned something new today, it will be a good day. Well, I learned something new about our money that I had not realized. So I've been reading the John Adams book, which is fabulous. And every week I put a summary on Twitter and Facebook because it's a written summary and of what's going on in the chapter. And in one of the chapters, they referred to John Adams as the personification of our symbol of our eagle and what it holds in its talons. So you will notice here I cleverly cut off the talons, so you will not yet know. But I want you to think for a minute. If you're trying to create a symbol of your nation and you wanted to show balance between peace and war, what would you have in the talons? And let me show you what we have. So, what is in the back of our dollar? Well, it turns out that our American eagle is trying to balance peace. That's why you see the olive branches. And there are 13 of them for the 13 original colonies, and also has 13 arrows to say that if necessary, the country would defend itself. And I thought it was interesting because in the John Adams book, when they refer to him as sort of the personification of this, I hadn't realized how close we came to war with France. So once we beat, so to speak, Britain in the American Revolution, we actually came very, very, very close to going to war with France. And Adams was the one who stood strong, trying to not have us go to war, for which he got a lot of grief from the press. And there was sort of a lot of warmongering going on, but he did not think the country was set up for another major war. Thank you, Adams. But he also did realize we needed to defend ourselves, and so started moving toward creating a navy, and also setting up the idea of the army, and in fact going so far as to appoint Washington, who, interestingly, I know I'm getting on a sidetrack here, but just real quick, was getting kind of older, and he insisted that he wanted Hamilton to sort of be his second in command. But everybody knew Washington was getting kind of old. He wasn't likely to actually lead a battle, which would have put Hamilton in charge. And John Adams thought Hamilton was the next Napoleon and wasn't happy about that. So he tried to strong arm Washington, even though he's president, kind of says, I'm president now. And Washington knows full well that basically anything he says, if he's not behind it, it would be hard for Adams to get through. So he says, no, I want Hamilton. And Hamilton, at least according to this book, kind of frothing at the mouth, wanting this war with France. But Adams keeps us in peace. Anyway, that was a slight aside. This is a great book, by the way. And I will see you tomorrow. And if you're thinking, wow, that stuff in history is so interesting, well, you are preaching to the choir. And if you would like to read Cap Westguard, The Second Battle of Saratoga, it is freely downloadable until the end of August. And I think you can learn a lot and enjoy, hopefully, time traveling to the Second Battle of Saratoga.